Oh, it's allowed us to go in. Oh.
Sorry, guys. We're late. We were having trouble getting on. Plus, we were yakking. For those who need the translation, that's chatting too much.
Chatting too much. And we didn't get finished. We'll have to have a chat afterwards.
So sorry. We were talking about my HM live on obesity and overweight horses is what we were talking about. And this complete paranoia in the equine world that if you don't feed the special supplement, your horse is going to die. The same special supplement that's fed to every other horse on the planet. Anyway, enough of that. We've done that. If you want to know about that, go and watch the HM live. Vivianne's here. Hi, Vivianne. It's always the same people that are on the HM live are hanging around waiting for us to go live, Gary. Angela's here. Hello. Sandra's here from Czech. Hello. I always say that, don't I?
Hi again.
Sandra's here from Czech. Oh, have you just been chatting
Sandra and
to
I had a really nice chat this evening. We did.
Yes. So here we are. A bit late. Better late than Norwich. Better late than never. Than never. Yes. So interesting, isn't it? This whole supplements feeding dilemma. And I kind of was trying to say, Gary, you know, when we go out and we see clients, one of the first things that we see is often as a horse carrying a little bit too much weight. And then there's a myriad of problems. And then we go and ask what's in the feeds and we see all these feeds. And so that's why we talk about stripping it back. You can never find the answer until you strip it back. When you've done that 6 months, your horse isn't going to drop dead. Then you can find the answer. Hi, says Facebook user. Don't know who you are. Celia, hello. Grace says, hi, Grace. Angela Holland,
hi,
your
Grace.
HM live was me to a T, trying to sort it now. Phoenix Warrior. Great podcast it was. Bonnie Curler still binging it with you all. Or what? Yes, I get it anyway. Yes, Bonnie, brilliant, good. I know it doesn't. I know that it doesn't sit well with everybody. I know, but we've got to take away this culture of we're going to fix an animal from a bit of powder in a bag. That bag is the bee's knees and the hay's just a pile of rubbish. It's got to stop. Got too many horses with too many problems. Good morning from down under. It's Good Friday morning here today. Happy Easter to you all. Happy Easter. Yes, because you're there. It's not Friday yet for us. It's still only 9:20. Hi, Suzanne. My boys just got lovely hoof trims. How lovely. Suzanne from Stratford.
Excellent.
Maryanne R, good day. Gut day. Good day. Tula Lena. Oh, hi from Finland. Have we had Tula before, Gary?
I don't think so.
Hello and welcome. Tula. Welcome to the live, Tula. From Finland. Lydia says hi from Canada. Gary, I am organizing my boo.
I think that will come out as the mule's photos.
Oh, I can't wait.
Mule feet photos.
Dawes says hi. Just started reading my 15-day challenge. Then you two popped up. Thank you, Lindsay. You're welcome. Karen Mackinson. Hi, guys. Hello.
Hiya.
Lydia says, Gary, I'm organizing my mule's hoof photos for you. Bonnie Doyle says, hi, only in for a few minutes. We'll catch recording later. No problem. See, this will be me later. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, this is the recording. Nice to see you. Caroline Schilling says, hi, from Wet and Wild, Portugal. Oh, my God. I'm in the middle of
it's Wet and Wild here, too.
I was in the middle of a tutorial this afternoon and it just went black. You know that feeling because it's dark anyway, because it's not very bright outside because of the weather. And all the lights went off. My computer went off and I'm like, oh, please don't let my computer be damaged by the lightning because then and then I could hear the light, and I'm like, I've got to do this tutorial. Anyway, got back on and all was well. But yeah, been horrible here too. It's a nightmare. Grace says, my rescue pony was castrated today. He's coming on so well, though I can scratch him now. Oh.
Fabulous.
Have you ever seen, I have been to a live castration. How many people can put their hands up and say they have been to a live castration? Grace can be one of them, if you were there. And I was so, God, I don't know why. I was just so totally gobsmacked by the size of the testicles. Enormous is all and how the vet was so rough, pulling down the vas deferens and just, and I'm like, oh, that looks horrific. It will. I've got all the photos as well. I took loads of photos years ago. This was, didn't go to another one. Lisa from Alberta in Canada. Hi, Lisa. Have you been
Hi,
before?
Lisa. Don't think so.
Welcome. Maryanne
Welcome.
says, I think I've lost count with Maryanne now. It's got to be at least 4, isn't it? 4 or 5. You're not a newbie anymore, yeah. Maryanne. Sorry, you're not a newbie anymore. Past newbie status. My mare is mad at you because I stopped the bag feeds. Oh, I'll take it. We can take it on the chin. We can take it. She can be mad at us. You can blame it at her. I'll play the podcast to her. Say, this is why.
Yeah.
It's this people here.
It'll last about 3 days and then they won't care. Hi from wet, sunny, hailing cold West Wales. I can just see it now. I can picture it. Hi, says Meta. Hello. Lydia says, I keep pressing the wrong keys. Yeah, that's my life too. Hi from South Wales. Hello. Rebecca Davies is here. Hello from Adirondacks, New York. Adirondacks. Have you spelt that right? Am I saying it right? Adirondacks. Adirondacks? Never heard of it. I might have to Google it. Never heard of it.
Lynn is here. Hi from Maryland, USA. First live. Newbies here, Gary. Lynn.
Oh, this is very exciting,
isn't it?
We've got
quite a few new people this evening. Hello, Lynn, and welcome.
Excellent. But we were going to talk about the second half of the gut.
We were.
With the newbies, they're going to have to go whack a week to watch the first bit.
5 days clean. Both my horses.
That was Bonnie Curtis. Well done, Bonnie.
Well done. Morning from Australia. Day 3, Gary, of the 10-day challenge. Watched over and over all day. Was wonderful.
Oh,
God,
bless
Gary,
you
over and over. Blimey.
Oh my God. I think you need paying. Not the other way around.
Kim Studley, can we have a little chat about I nearly said a little shit about because my brain was reading that too fast. Can we have a little chat about poo? Poo. I've changed my hay supplier about 5 times this year for several reasons. Oh my God, and we're only in March. I find it very interesting how their poops always change every time I change the hay. What would you class as the perfect poo? A consistent poo, one that has a good form to it, good form, one that doesn't stink to high heaven. Oh my goodness, horses that are fed grass and certain sorts of grass. Wow, their poo is more like cow pats, and it stinks. So something that is not green looking. It's kind of pale. It's kind of a nice, rich kind of brown, but it's got like, bits of forage in there. It's well rounded, not mucusy. What else can I say, Gary? That's about it, really. But good enough to eat. Well, if you're Emily the
really
pig,
good in the winter. If you stick some in your pockets, keeps your hands warm.
You've never tried that.
It's only fibre.
Kate says, hello, you are my drive home entertainment tonight. Oh, you're in your car. Well, that's a turn up, not on a boat. Well done. Me, Dawn says, I was holding a colt that was castrated. Oh, yeah. I'm glad it wasn't a mare that you were holding that was being castrated. That would have been weird. Jenny says, good morning from New Zealand. Loved the HM Live you did yesterday, Lindsay. It was gold, and every vet and trimmer needs to watch it. That was the one that I was talking about, chopping the toes off with an X-ray. Critically think. And even if you don't want to critically think, just don't let your eyes lie to you. Are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? Hi, Michelle from Michigan. Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
Tula's given us a wave. More waves. Maryanne Wilson. As a teenager, I brought the large testicles to my biology class. The teacher went green. Oh my God. And where did you get these from, Maryanne? From a horse. Sorry? It's from a horse. It's a horse testicles. Pardon? What? Horse testicles are quite large, aren't they? Aren't they, miss? Maryanne, I don't think we'll be looking at those today. Grace, I've had 2 castrated now. You guys prepared me well with the dissections. Yeah, but even so, they're alive, right? And it's all. Tula, I have watched all the
dissections, but I'm not sure that I could cope with having its balls chopped off. Sorry.
So, as a man, you'd be like,
nah. That's not on my bucket list, I have to say.
What, going and watching a castration? It's a much nicer word than balls chopped off. Tula says, I've watched, oh my God, Gary, I have watched all the live recordings at 1.5 speed. Now it's funny. Still hearing you speak slowly. Oh, Tula, what's funny about that is that in the school, the students that have gone through, I don't know how many hours, 200 and something odd hours of lessons so far. I mean, like a massive amount. There's so many lessons. And a lot of them, I think, listen to me at high speed and then slow it down on sort of the things they want to watch. And then they'll come back and look again. And then when they hear me speaking, they're like, wow, what's happened to you? You're really slow, man.
Slowly.
So
it's
slow.
Like we're on go slow.
I've made some poo bricks for the log burner. I bought a poo brick. Do you remember, Gary? Did you remember seeing that I've got 2 poo brick makers? And I had it all planned. I was going to make poo bricks for my log burner, and I never got round to doing it. We're funny. Oh yeah, we are. We're mad. When I lived in Wales, I used to snuggle my feet down into the poo heap to warm them up in the winter. Yeah.
See, not that mad.
What, did you have your bare feet or did you have wellies on? Don't know if I do it without wellies on. Hello, hello. Dawn says it was the crunching of the cord that. Morning.
Yes. Yeah. Don't need to know any more about that, Dawn. Thank you very much. Do I need to zoom in a bit?
Hang on, I need to find something in a minute. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. I'm trying to find the gut thing that I want to show you. Oh, I don't know where it is. I'll find it in a minute. So, yes, Shad wellies on. So today, we're going to talk about the gut. We are going to talk about continuing on about the gut. That's why she said gut day. I get it now. I'm slow to catch on. Slow.
Well, I was going to say something, but I thought you'd catch on eventually.
No, God, I'm so sorry I didn't catch on. So, tell us if you have any other questions before we get into the gut. Do you have any questions? And the reason I'm stalling is so that I can go and find my slide because I'm not prepared. I need to go and find it, and I don't know where the hell it is. So, Gary, just fill in for me a moment, please. And the reason I'm looking at my
Right,
walls,
what have I been doing today?
that is where it is.
Feeding horses today and putting round bales out. Have I told you how much I love our bale mover? Oh my God. Bale mover and quad bike makes life, so much easier. Very good. Yes, all the horses came for snuggles, and including the donkey, Casimir the donkey. We haven't talked about Casimir the donkey. He's doing absolutely amazingly. His feet have nearly fully grown out of his acute laminitis, and he's just got this last little bit of a long toe waiting to come off. And yes, he's doing really well. And it's been tutorials day. So I've been sat at my desk doing tutorials with our lovely students, which is awesome because I get to chat, and I don't like chatting much. And they can tell me about their life and their horses and how much they hate the school when they're not enjoying it at all, and it's really a chore. Yeah, we never get any of that.
We never get any of that.
Awesome.
Never get any of that.
Never get any of that. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome to catch up. And next month, everybody is so exciting because we've got our training camp, and everybody is so looking forward to that.
Oh, we are. It's going to be exciting. Yes. Very much so.
It's going to be awesome. You might have to do without us for a week. Oh my God, what will you do? Maybe we'll have to do a live on the training camp, but make it a short one.
Well, I think I don't know. I think we can do. I think we can do. We can do. I think we can do a live on the training camp. I think we can do that. I think we can show you guys and we have a barbecue on the Thursday night, so for sure you can come to the barbecue with us. You can.
That's a good idea.
You can come to the barbecue. Right, I'm nearly ready. Nearly ready. Oh God, there's nothing like being organized, is there? Shouldn't have spent 35 minutes on the HM page.
The HM page.
35 minutes I was on there. This'll do. I'll use this as an. Oh no, that's quite a nice picture. I quite like that one. Yeah, let's take that picture. That's nice. I'm going to just nick in this from the internet, everybody. So if this is your picture, what a lovely picture. But I've just stolen it. Okay, so shall I share my screen? Oh, wait a minute. There's been loads of people saying things. Can we talk about track system design for small spaces soon, please? Yeah, maybe. Gary, our soles are rock hard. Any tips apart from soaking? Soaking won't cut it.
Sharper knife.
I recently got a round bale net and I love it. I'll probably be getting 3 more before winter to make sure I can put out multiple bales and have extras on hand. Very good. Please, can we join the professionals live if we don't want to be professionals? Well, I can't stop you doing that but you do have to register. That's okay. You can if you want to be. I said that there'd be nosy people. You can be a nosy person if you want, Angela. I don't mind. You won't be learning things. You'll just be finding out about the course, though. So you're not going to be learning horsey stuff. You're just going to be learning out about the course. Can we do a live purely on donkeys at some stage? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. That'd be good. I'd like to do that. Deborah says, I was always told that you shouldn't keep donkeys and horses together. I think it was about lungworms. Was that another lie? Well, lungworms aren't a lie. Lungworms are a thing. But honestly, we have never, ever, 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 ever seen it to be an issue, found it to be an issue. So
no,
it's just like
perhaps it was back in the day, but yeah, we've never had an issue. And I know a lot of people that keep donkeys with horses, and they've never had an issue either.
No. Bit of paranoia going on there. being fed a little bit of paranoia. Why are the farriers so obsessed about white line disease syndrome? As soon as they see a little divot from a pebble, they go insane. Yeah, dig, dig, dig. Well, gives you something to do, doesn't it? What I'd love for the farriers to do is to chat to the owner about the diet and the management. That would be cool. And they could say, well, the reason that your horse has got these problems is because of the diet and management. They just don't want to say that, though, because they don't know particularly. Carol Laura says, my question, if a horse has acute laminitis, does that mean they were probably unnoticed chronic laminitis that tipped over?
Absolutely. Yeah. When they go footsore, there are always warning signs. Always warning signs. That unfortunately get ignored, quite typically.
But some horses are tipped over not because of the laminitis per se from the diet and management, because of the incorrect hoof care.
Yeah.
They're in agony because they're walking around on the tip of P3. Because the chronic laminitis over years has caused distortion in the hoof capsule, and that hoof capsule is trying to be tamed by the hoof care professional, who then goes too far and takes P3 too far, and before you know it, P3, they're wandering around on the tip of P3, and then they get tipped over the edge, and then you get the x-ray done and they've got rotation, or they're just walking around on the very hyperpositive P3. Unfortunately, there's a lady who Gary did a video for a lady today in the group who is experiencing exactly that. I wish I had a bale mover. I decided today to make half my track surface. So fed up with the mud. Go for it. Go for it. Hello from Germany, Suzuta. Hello. Gary Hinton, I sent Lindsay photos of a good poo and not a good poo. Oh, did you? Where did you send? Lovely. Send me pictures of poo if you like.
Oh, that was Adele.
Oh, what on WhatsApp? I'll go and have a look in a sec. 10 years, donkeys and ponies all living together. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly. Slow learner here. Can you show pics of where the HSP is for heels with a deepish sulcus and a concave foot? I worry about over trimming. It's just basically when the heels hit the hard bit. That's as basic as it is. That's the hard sole plane. But if you've got compaction, you have to stop there if you don't know how to read the foot. But that might be compacted. But if it is, then you bringing it down to that compacted sole will enable the foot to then give a little bit, because that's what it tends to do. Sarah Lou, but we could bring up pictures of hooves, but not on this live. I think we've got enough to do to talk about the gut. But yeah, that's a good question. Squire was ill and then tipped over. I know he had laminitis since at least the summer, and I missed it. All the warning signs. We talk a lot about the warning signs. Okay, I'll have a look in a sec. Evening, everyone, says Danielle R. Where can I find a list of all the HM trimmers in the UK, please? Desperately need a trimmer for a lovely owner in PE9 for a horse in dire need prior to coming to me in Cornwall. Where's PE9? Do you know where that is? If that's
could be Peterborough.
Yeah, if that's Peterborough, then I think we probably do have someone up there, Danielle. Think so. Yeah, I do. I think we might have somebody somewhere up there. I don't know why my WhatsApp's not opening, Adele. Okay.
Yes, it is Peterborough.
Is it? If you can PM us, Rutland, if you can PM us some more details, we'll put you in touch with someone. Share screen. God. Okay. Here we go then. Can everybody see that? There's a little lesson on the gut. Oh, hello. That's that. We'll see if we find some poo as well. Oh yeah. Let's just copy that image. This is good poo. That's quite good looking poo. Oh, hang on a sec. Oh no, don't do that. I really want to. Copy. This is bad poo. Boom. And something you will notice actually with flies is that they go mental for poo like this. They don't go mental for poo like this. Isn't that interesting? Don't you think that's interesting? Next time, well, obviously, hopefully your horse won't have poo like that unless they've got a bit of a gut disturbance or they've been eating too much grass. And that poo will smell. And that's probably why they are attracted to it. But this poo here on the right is what our poos all look like. And Emily the pig, Emily
Speak
the
for
pig.
yourself.
Not our poos. Emily the pig absolutely loves this poo. She eats it, rolls in it, loves it. That's Emily the pig. She will have a diverse microbiome in her gut that is very similar to our horses. She gets fed other stuff as well, but which is all natural, by the way. I have a story about pigs and lameness and natural feeds and pellets and all of that, but I shan't tell you tonight. Yeah, so sorry, Emily, you're off. Sorry, Pooh, you're off. No, I'll leave you on, actually. I'm just going to make this bigger. All right, then. So tell me something that you learnt from we recap from the other the other live that we did last week. What did you learn from that? Louise Jandel, I think Adele's saying, Louise, it could be indeed. Where can I find info about 3-day live workshops? Gary Gary will put the link up, Tula. You're welcome. Right, come on. Before we move on, let me know that it's sunk in. I want to know something about what you learned the other day. My piggy doesn't eat my horse's poo, even though their poo is good. Well, shit, mine does. My piggy does. That the acid doesn't turn off. Correct. That the acid does not turn off. So in the stomach, trying to blow up the wrong thing there. In the stomach here, we have, and this, by the way, is not as it probably exactly is, but hey, don't worry about that. In the stomach, we have, it's sort of divided into 2 layers. And we have the bottom layer that is kind of tougher than the top layer. And that's where the acid kind of settles. And if your horse isn't being fed continuously or has the ability to eat hay continuously, then you're going to have problems arise in the gut, because acid is produced by a proton pump and it is a constant thing. So if you want to learn more about that, go back and look at the last gut one, which was I don't know what, it's on Facebook. And on Facebook, it's called A Gutful or something like that, I think it's called. Did you mean YouTube? What did I say? Facebook. Sorry, I meant YouTube. That's why you're here, Gary. Thank you for that. Carol, saliva produced on demand. I'm tired. Yes, it's produced on demand. Not like Pavlov's dogs, where you waft a biscuit in front of them and they start salivating. That's not what happens with a horse. It's produced when they're getting that bolus ready in their mouth. Why? Because it's a rough, fibrous bolus. And Mother Nature was like, I know, I need to make sure that bolus gets down to the stomach. I'm going to make you produce saliva. Yep, that's 3-day for everybody. The Tula, there you go. Gary's put it in the comments. Yes, they need hay 24/7. They do. How long does it take for a full stomach to empty? Well, there's various people say various things. Honestly, there is no definitive answer to that question. It can range from honestly just a few hours to quite a few hours, but it's less than a day to empty the stomach contents. And all of this, incidentally, the whole of the gut system from here down to here, how long is that roughly? How long is it? So, Carol, Laura, the answer to that is it varies from a few hours to longer than a few hours. How long is that gut system? I might have said this in the last one. I can't remember. How long?
I don't think you did.
Did I not?
No, I don't think so.
How long is it? You don't have to tell me in meters. You can tell me very long. It is. Tell me in comparison to something. Compare it to something. How long is the gut? 100 feet. So I'm going to compare it to 2 double-decker buses. Do you know what a double-decker bus is? For those of you who've seen London buses, a red London double-decker bus, or a blue whale, indeed, or an Olympic swimming pool. It depends on the football field, because some football fields are different to others, I have to say. But then, sir, some blue whales different to others. 2 buses, yeah. It's quite a long old way, 30 meters, yeah. So it's pretty long. A big aeroplane, as long as a big Airbus. It's, if you took it out and you unraveled it all the way, it's going to be really, really long. So that's the first thing you need to know. Okay, right. My second question is, why is it that long? Why does it need to be that long? Why does it need to be that long? And this is important, actually, because I'm going to put up, I don't know. I have got absolutely no idea. I'm going to get rid of that nasty looking poo, and that poo can go as well. I have no idea where this is going to go, but I'm just going to wing it, just like I always do. Let's have a look at that one will do. Boom. Why has Lindsay just put a tiger running underneath a picture of a horse? Well, that's kind of important. Yeah, Carol says it's to break down fiber, to digest the fat fiber. Yeah, fermentation. Quite right. To extract as much goodness as possible. Who's extracting the goodness? Who's extracting the goodness? Absorb as many nutrients as it can out of the food. To complete fermentation process. Okay, so they are do you want to know? Do you want to say what they are, Gary? What is a horse?
A mono-gastric hindgut fermenter.
A horse is a mono-gastric hindgut fermenter, which means that when the horse's food and fiber goes down into the gut, that this is the relatively small stomach. It then enters into the gut proper, and it goes into the small intestines, which are the small bits here, and then it goes turns this corner and goes into the large intestine, which is the colon, the large colon, the cecum, the rectum. It's all part of that. And that is where in the cecum, which is this incredible, amazing structure, which is a blind sac. Do you know what I mean by a blind sac? The cecum. They sometimes call it the blind gut, actually. Do you know what that means by the blind gut? We'll get to the tiger in a minute. No, says Angela, I don't know what that means. It means it's in there hiding, going, ooh, I can't see anything.
Somebody's put a blindfold on it.
That's right. It's blind. There's only one way in and one way out, says Maryanne. That's right. Perfecto. Well in and out the same way. Yeah. So it's a blind gut. It just means that everything goes in and out. So it's kind of important because of that the animal is moving constantly, so that things don't kind of, and that the food is moving constantly, so things don't kind of get stagnated inside the gut. That's not good. Equally, we don't want great big long periods of no food, because then this is going to empty, and it'll be like, hello, I know I'm blind, but there's no food coming in. Where's the food? And so that causes the incredible microbiome that are all living in here and also in the large colon. They have problems if you don't keep feeding that cecum. So that's an incredibly big sac. It's massive. And in there is that fermentation process going on all the time. It's really, really important. So it's all these microbes in there. And like I said to you, they know more about the depths of the ocean and the surface of the moon and Mars than they do about what's going on with the microbes in the gut. They don't even know a lot about the microbes in the gut of the human, let alone the gut of the horse, frankly. So, and this is something that we have to be very careful, right? When we're for instance, when we're chucking bagged feeds and supplements at a horse, how do we know? How do we know that the microbes that are in here, right? Hold on a minute. Let's just take some and put them in. How do we know that the microbes that are living inside that gut, here they are, how do we know that they aren't producing everything that horse needs? Now, if you saw my HM live, you'll know that I was talking about an animal being overweight and a horse being overweight. This horse doesn't look too bad, actually. This horse is looking pretty good. And the symptoms that people see that they put down to deficiencies could actually be symptoms that are caused by the animal being overweight, because these microbes in here are really amazing. There are absolutely millions of them. Like, they're everywhere. Okay, there's trillions, and they're all in there doing their job, fermenting. And what are they fermenting, guys? What are they doing? What are they doing that the horse can't do themselves, that we can't do? What are these incredible microbes doing in here? I'm enjoying this. I'm going to do one more.
Is this your therapy?
Yeah, there you go. Look, there's loads of them in there now. What are they doing they look pretty? What are they doing that the horse can't do itself? Because what they're doing, what they're working on in their little factory inside the cecum, they couldn't work on in the small intestine, right? Okay, they're producing heat. Oh, they do. That's really important, right? That is very, very important. They produce heat as a byproduct of their respiration. They do. What essential nutrients, vitamins can the horse, if its microbes, not manufacture or extract? They don't know. They don't know. They know what they can. So like the whole of the B12 complex, which is a water-soluble vitamin, they know they can make that. Biotin, for instance, we talked about that before. It has been mooted that they can make vitamin K, that they can make vitamin E, that the body, amazingly, can manage to make everything that it needs. But they don't know. And do we know that the stuff that we're feeding the horse isn't going to just go in there and go, oh, I'm just going to, and then, oh, you weren't meant to be down there. Get away. And then what happens if everything that we're feeding the horse ends up doing this and taking a bunch of them away? That's no good, is it?
Ends up being counterproductive.
It ends up being counterproductive, doesn't it? So they make vitamins breaking down to usable vitamins. Yes. In that case, how do we allegedly know what the horse needs for health and how much? You don't.
You don't.
So what do we do? So what we do is we feed the horse a diverse fiber, because what's going on in here in this horse's gut is a breakdown of fiber, right? So we're feeding this horse hay and ooh, let's see, pick a nice picture of hay. Can we pick a nice picture of hay? That one. Oh, gosh, that's taken over the whole horse. I'll come back to the tiger. Believe me, I will. In it goes. So there's the hay. Oh, there's a pig there as well. Let's get over that. So it looks like chips. It looks like horse has been eating chips. That's not French fries. That is meant to look like hay. Anybody that's joining us right now, I'm sorry, but that is not French fries. I'm not suggesting that you feed your horse McDonald's. It's meant to be hay. So in here, they're breaking this down. They're breaking down this fiber. So these are long chain carbohydrates that are structural carbohydrates that are there to keep the plant upright in the wind. And that's what the horse needs. And as they break down this fiber, and there's loads of these different, they love it. They're breaking it. Yum, 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 yum. They're all like, lovely. Break down this fiber. The horse is like, great, fellas, because I can't do this myself, because this fiber passed through this small intestine, but nothing really happened because it can't get anything from that. So the fiber then goes into the hindgut and the microbes break it down, and the microbes produce something. Well, you tell me, if Adele's watching, what do the microbes produce that are going to create and make energy? I'm going to put you on the spot, Adele. If you're and Grace, you're both here. What do they produce that enable the horse to make energy? And we've got energy from heat, so it's keeping the horse warm, which is why horses that go out on short grazing in the winter and they're rugged up to the hill are cold. Why horses shiver, because they're not being fed their fiber. If anybody's in the UK, I don't know if they did this in other parts of the world. I don't know if Ready Brek is sold in other parts of the world, but there was an advert on TV and there was a little Ready Brek boy, and he used to have a glow around him, and he'd be walking to school, and then he'd be walking to school next to his pals and they all looked freezing cold and he was glowing. And so, because they were saying that what he's eaten is keeping him warm from the inside out. So it's the fire that's in their belly. And that is absolutely true. It is a heat source. It is a heat source. So are all the NRC tables of needs fiction? Where did they come from? Where did they come from? Did they go and have a look at the horses on the Eurasian steppe, or Przewalski's horses, or the Great Basin horses, or did that all start by horses that are kept in stables and are raced? Short chain fatty acids, says Vivian. Ooh. Enzymes. No, it's not enzymes. Vivian was there. I'm sure, Vivian. I think you're here to test me. ATP. Well, ATP is energy. Oops. Hello. Yes, but there we go. We're talking really about fatty acids, right? So the horse will make volatile fatty acids. Well, no, the horse isn't making it. Why did I even say that, Lindsay? The microbes are making it. Why is that important? Why are the volatile fatty acids important? Because those are what gives your horse, that's what gives your horse safe energy. Safe energy, because that safe energy is not spiking the blood sugar levels, because they're taking in the small chain carbohydrates, which are all digested here. And some of them flood into here and cause untold problems for these microbes. These microbes know that the horse needs energy, right? And so Mother Nature was sat there on her board in a board meeting. And there she was going, right, well, okay, they're going to be eating hay. They're going to be eating fiber. So we need some help with that. We'll make this big blind gut and we'll stick a load of microbes in there and we'll put the fiber in there. Where are they going to get their energy from? Says little Lucy as she puts her hand up to Mother Nature sat at the head of the table. What energy? Well, the energy that they need to run about and play and run away from predators and all of that. Oh yes, it's a bit of a dilemma. Well, use the microbes. They can do it. They can produce energy. How? Volatile fatty acids. So the volatile fatty acids go whizzing into the system. Loads of volatile fatty acids. And that is what gives this horse safe energy. Energy is king. Microbes are king. The other way of getting energy that this horse can use is by, let's get some sugar. Well, I mean, he's not going to eat a whole bag of sugar, but let's put it in there anyway. It's not going to be sweet granulated sugar. You kind of know that, but that's the only other way he's going to be getting his energy. And that's not from here. That's not safe energy. This energy isn't safe because what happens here, let's just remove that and put some cubes in there. That might be better. What happens here is this is made up of small chain carbohydrates that are easy to break down by, and somebody mentioned it earlier, enzymes. They're broken down by enzymes. I don't think I have, like, they don't really look like anything. Oh, let's use that one. They're broken down by enzymes and they live in the small intestine, these enzymes. But there's a bit of a problem with horses and enzymes. Because they are mono-gastric hindgut fermenters, they actually don't have as many enzymes in their small intestine as we do as human beings. Right? So they can get easily overloaded and their enzymes just can't keep up. So what happens is then that all floods into the hindgut and then the microbes are just overloaded anyway in their hindgut. And so, but these small chain carbohydrates are broken up into glucose units and they flood the system, right? And that is an energy. It is, but it ain't a safe energy because this energy is going to spike the insulin levels in the blood. And when that happens, I promise I'll get back to the tiger. You're all waiting to find out about the tiger, aren't you? When that happens, it raises the insulin levels, and that means the pancreas is put under quite a lot of strain. And when horses are constantly fed sugary meals or meals that can be broken down easily by enzymes in the small intestine, some high protein meals, that can also do the same thing. These are going to spike the blood sugar levels. They're going to make the blood spike until it just happens all the time. Spike. We could do a song. Spike. And so all this spiking all the time, constantly, means that the cells of the tissues in the horse's body, right down here, when insulin comes knocking and it says to the tissues in the shoulders, in the muscles in the shoulder, and it goes, hey, you know, I'm insulin, and you know, I'm gonna be here to sort of provide sugar, and the cells go, oh, go away. I'm not interested in you. You crying wolf. You've been here before, and so the cells gradually become what we call insulin resistant, and that is a big issue. And it didn't need to be like that, because if we'd have just fed the horse fiber, then these poor little enzymes that are in there, they'd be just doing a little bit of a job, doing what they're doing down there and not overloaded. And then the fiber goes into the hindgut and produces the volatile fatty acids, which is the safe energy for the horse. It's all he needs. It's all he needs. Didn't need those sweet, sugary things called grass. Oh, Alison's on it now. She's going, that was my next question. What horses were used and how blood tests or what? Well, yeah, good question. Good. go back and have a look at some papers and how they did it. Oh, and how many horses? You're really on it now. Exactly. Okay. Precisely. You have a problem. Did horses always have EMS, or is that something we have caused? It's something we have caused. Equine metabolic syndrome, like human metabolic syndrome. It is something that we have caused. Yes. They weren't meant to have spiked sugar levels. Horses are a little bit insulin resistant anyway, but they are not meant to be having these blood sugar levels. Oh, did we go somewhere then? That was weird. In TCM, the digestive.
Quiet.
Did I? In TCM, the digestive system is called the triple heater or cauldron. It is said that the triple heater is responsible for making sure that all the organs are provided with the adequate nutrients needed. When the TH is out of balance, one of the health issues is metabolic issues. So, absolutely important. So that's why it's so long. And then the rest of the what's going to turn into poo comes out of there, and then it travels into the colon, into the large colon, and then eventually it gets to the rectum, and that's where a lot of the water, and in the large colon, a lot of fermentation goes on too. And then it gets to the large intestine, where it starts to reabsorb, the large intestine, the rectum, where it starts to reabsorb water and then starts to form these shaped poos. And they're shaped like that because that's the motion of the gut and the size of the gut. So that, if you see your poo coming out your horse, you go, oh, look, his rectum's the size of his poo. That's been all lining up inside his rectum, and it reabsorbs water that it doesn't need. So if your horse is pooing out sloppy poo, like that one that we put up here a while ago, like this one, then you know that something's not going right here. It's coming through too fast because the water's not being reabsorbed here and forming nice poos like the other poo. See, I got rid of them now and I need to bring them back. Like this one. So you know that that's been sat in the rectum, water's being removed from it, and so therefore this is lovely. Whereas this has just gone whooshing through and it hasn't been able to form. Now, this is a big issue in horses when because it gets affected when it gets leaky. Things that are in the gut that shouldn't go in the bloodstream get into the bloodstream. All these sorts of things happen. And I have to tell you that when an animal is overweight because they're not being fed correctly, and they're not being fed the thing they need, which is fiber, then all of those things can happen. And if you saw my HM live, you'd have seen the bit when I talked about too many lipids in the body and how they can float around in the gut and they can cause problems and colic. And it's an issue, right? It's a problem. So why have I got a picture of a horse and then I've got a picture of a tiger underneath? Why? And specifically a tiger doing that. Why have I got a tiger there? What is your knowledge about fecal water syndrome? Poo is formed, but dirty water shoots out. I know, right? They don't know enough about it, about fecal water syndrome. And so your poo could look all right, but around it, you're getting leakage. And you might get leakage before and you might get leakage after. Oftentimes, these animals don't look sick. They look okay, but they have got water coming through. Well, it isn't meant to be like that. And there's something going on with the reabsorption of water in the gut. So there's something not quite right there. But it is a thing. It is a thing. Bethan's not here tonight, but she's got a horse that does that quite a lot. I haven't personally got one myself, but I've seen many of them. I'll just mention those poo photos were taken on the same day. A herd on one side of the fence on grass and the other was my herd on hay. Now, isn't that interesting? Thank you, Adele. You turned up at the right time to show us those poo pics. Okay. Nobody's answered about the tiger yet, Gary. Hi, Lindsay. My horse had a really bad impaction colic recently. Why would it have been stuck on your where would it have been stuck in your diagram, or could it have been anywhere? So colic, right? Colic is just a term for something going on in the intestines that they can't describe, right? That they don't know. But an impaction colic is when oftentimes when horses will take in, obviously they've got on a high fiber diet, which is why it frightens people that horses can't have a high fiber diet. They can, but they're not, if they're not drinking enough water, if they're not drinking enough fluid, then you know, this then can start to impact. And you've seen vets put their hand up a horse's bottom, maybe put their hand up a bottom and try and feel to see if there's any impaction. And the impaction can happen here, and it can also happen at corners, because there are a couple of corners in there that can get impaction, and there's another corner just from the other side of here going into the large intestine, and those or large colon, and they can get impacted on the corners, and they can get impacted anywhere, in fact, in there. And particularly if horses aren't drinking enough, if they're in cold weather and they don't want to drink cold water, or if they are because it's a bit too cold, or there are various reasons that you can get impaction colic. But yeah, it's going to be around here in this area here generally. And so what do? You give the horse lots of water, and you make sure that it drinks lots. And if you can't, you can give them drenches, get water into the system, try and see if you can get that moving. Now, this is another thing that's important here. Tiger horse, and impaction colic and stuff like that. Why have I got a tiger and why have I got a horse? On a track that's not on a surface, will they still be getting too much sugar from the very short grass where they're on ad lib hay? Well, it just depends on the horse, really. Some can tolerate, it's about tolerance levels, and some horses can tolerate quite a lot and other horses can't. And that tolerance level reduces as they get older as well. There's no fixed rule, but you know, you can have a little pony on a track that's got some little shoots of grass, doesn't appear to be bothered, and you can have a thoroughbred on the same track that's eating the same shoots of grass and is like going footy all the time. It really just depends. So to always play safe, you always play safe to the lowest common denominator. I wonder if leaking is something like dumping syndrome in humans when the microbiome is off and it affects Crohn's. Yeah, the gut is so damn important, and we've got to think that we're feeding the microbes, not the horse. You're not feeding the horse because it's fiber for a horse. Tiger is a meat eater, predator. Horses are herbivores, prey animals. Digestive system different. Yes. A tiger can vomit. Horses can't vomit. Yep, that is quite true. And the reason for that is because of the insertion of the esophagus into the sphincter and into the stomach, and it can't actually go back up. And this isn't a good example of that, but it's the way that it's inserted in. But as one vet said to me once, that can come back up when the horse is very sick, but they're not really vomiting. It's just flooding back up, which is a bit grim. Yeah, so horses can't run like this. When you see a horse running, their torso, this middle bit, doesn't go like a tiger. Let's see if we can see a horse running. Yeah, so let's just have this picture. If you look at this picture here, you can see that it doesn't look quite the same. that's probably not the best picture, but the tiger can really, if you've ever seen a cat run, they can really fold up their bodies and really run like that. Horses can't, because this area here doesn't bend the same. And the reason it doesn't bend the same is because it's got this massive fermentation factory going on inside. Whereas in the carnivore, that's not what's going on. They'll eat a meal, it goes into the stomach, and then it goes into the small intestine, large intestine. It's not in there fermenting. It goes through its process and out again, and it doesn't store the amount of stuff that these animals are storing, which is why a horse, when it runs, doesn't look like a tiger, because their intestines are different. And that's kind of important, because that tells you that a horse needs to move all the time in order for this to really, these animals can go to sleep and they can sleep for hours. These can't. These animals need to move, because this factory inside here needs to keep on working day in, day out, hour in, hour out, hour in. These guys can go to sleep, get up and run like this. These horses can't, because the way that they are created. That endeth the lesson, I think, on the gut. Want to know any more than that? Oh, yeah, like accordions. What can be the reason for the get sloppy poop about 1 week every 3 to 4 weeks? There is no different summer, winter, hay, haylage grass has been going on for 4 to 5 years. Horse is 6 years old, good teeth, and there could be various reasons. Parasites. They have moon cycles. They know that they can put parasites. They've done tests where they can put like nematodes and in lead boxes. They still will keep with the cycles of the earth, and they don't know why. It's crazy. There's just so much we don't know. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Absolutely crazy what we don't know. So it could just be that, but I wouldn't be suggesting go and strip the gut out. It just could be that there is that you know, my Shetland, and he had a little bit of a worm burden, but it wasn't a burden, but he had quite a few, and he would get sloppy every month because he'd be ejecting worms. That could be one of the reasons. And that's why we don't ride tigers. Exactly, because it'd be pretty uncomfortable. That's why we can ride horses. Yeah. Good comment. I started eating more fermented foods, good for human microbiome, adding a prebiotic and probiotics. Yeah. So hay is a prebiotic, because that is a prebiotic is where it's creating more microbes they're proliferating because of what's in the diet. A probiotic is when you're putting more microbes in. And there's so much controversy over probiotics and whether they work or not. So don't rely on them. I had a horse stay with me who had fecal water syndrome for his whole life, according to the owner. Oh, it's normal for him. He had ulcers and lived what I considered a very stressful life with many horses coming and going. He had a stable herd, had 55 acres to roam, and a mixed standing hay and natural herbs and mixed meadow hay and tons of past spread. After 2 years, he figures, yeah. So we know it's a gut issue, right? We know it is, but they don't know enough about it. Fabulous. So I found this interesting. Thank you. We have a pony here that was diagnosed with LGS and given 50-50 chance. However, we managed her for 3 years, and then she became very asked. LGS, by the way, leaky gut syndrome. We had asked numerous times, is it possible low-grade bug in gut, but told no. Blood's taken, never showing infection. In the end, I asked the vet, is there any reason why we can't? And she said it's starting to fade away, and poo piles of slop getting worse. 4 days on antibiotics, poo slop of 3 years, stopped and never happened again. Interesting. Not that everybody should fill their horse with antibiotics, of course, just saying. But it's interesting, isn't it? It's like infections in the foot, and they don't stop. Infections in the foot recently been 3 months pus pouring out of the foot. until we've finally got vet to do the swab and put antibiotics, and then the pus stopped. Okay, enjoyed that. We've done an hour. Like we said, that's going to be your quota. We're not going to go for more than an hour. Anybody got any last things they want to ask Gary or me? Everything is interesting. More questions and answers. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's interesting though. But what I can tell you is this. They have, I say this so many times, they have barely scratched the surface. They don't know. The gut is king and they don't know anything about it. Yet we keep shoving stuff down their necks that isn't even regulated. Think on that. I'll leave you with that. Okay then, folks. Bye-bye, everybody. We've enjoyed this evening. Next Thursday.
See you tomorrow.
We don't know when we're talking about gut next Thursday, don't we? We'll talk about. All right then. Bye-bye.
Take care.